Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I am going to be reviewing Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. I am going to start this review off with a spoiler-free section that kind of describes the book, and then I will warn you when we get to the spoilers, because this is a recently released book, and I'm sure there's a bunch of people that still haven't read it yet. I don't make a lot of reviews, but I had a lot of opinions for this book, so I thought it would be a good one to review, and hopefully this video comes out the way I want it to go. So I'm going to start off with my rating, and originally I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I finished it probably over a week ago, and after sitting on it, I feel like it's becoming more of a 4 or a 3.5, and I think for now I'm gonna say 4. I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes after I just sit down and think about a book for a few days, my initial rating lowers or raises sometimes, because originally I read the companion book to this one, Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and I gave this one a 4 stars originally, and then I bumped it up to a 5 stars after just thinking about it for a while and realizing it deserved it. So now that we're on the topic of this book, I will let you know that these books are in the same universe and share basically the same characters, but follow one character differently. This one follows Simon, and this one follows Leah, and they're both really good friends, so we see both of them in each of these books. Becky Albertalli's other novel, The Upside of Unrequited, also features some of these characters, so all of these books are a part of the Simon-verse and interconnect in a way, which is very cool and really fun to read because you get to see some of these characters that you've fallen in love with in other books. I believe this might be the last addition to the Simon-verse, which is depressing and sad. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. So this book is about, as I said, Leah Burke, who is a senior in high school now. She is a closeted bisexual. Her mother knows, but she hasn't told her friends yet. And obviously, since Simon took place about a boy named Simon, who is a closeted gay, who obviously comes out throughout the novel, you would think it would be okay to tell her friends, but she just hasn't done it yet. She hasn't found that right moment to tell her friends. She knows they'll be okay with it, but it's her own journey in becoming comfortable with having this be public knowledge. So Leah is a drummer in a girl band, and she is also overweight, so we get that representation. But what I really liked is this book has an overweight main character, but her focus is not on that. Some books are just all about thinking about that all the time and feeling insecure, but Leah just kind of owns it, and she's beautiful in her own way, and I just really like that part of this. And I really wish in the Love, Simon movie that we had an overweight actress. That would have just been feelings, you know? I want that representation. Also love this cover. I have to mention that before I continue on describing this book. Macy, shut up. If you haven't read this book, but you have read the other books in the Simon-verse and you're kind of wondering what's happening here, I will tell you it's not really a friendship-based book, though that's in there. It's heavily a romance sort of story and following a journey with romantic relationships. That's what a lot of this book is about, just thinking about feelings. So I think those are the basic things I can say without spoiling this book, so I might as well go into the spoiler section. And I am going to start off with the positives and the things that I liked about this book. One thing, I really enjoyed the bisexual main character sort of representation. I've never read from the main character being a bisexual person, and I'm really happy that I got to read that perspective because I need more of that in my life. Becky Albertalli is definitely inclusive on all of these different types of people, and I really like that about her. I also really loved every single Simon and Bram moment ever. Thank you, Jesus, for these moments. These were great, and I lived for it. Like, basically my favorite part about this book is the Simon and Bram moments that we got. Like the promposal, every cute thing, and the thing at the prom when they're like just holding hands. That makes me happy, and I really wish we just had another book of their lives in college and their romance together, because let's be honest, we don't have enough of these cute moments between them, because for a billion years in the Simon book, they didn't know who they are. So we need another book for this. I need this. Also, here's all my tabs. I color-coded them. Orange is funny moments. There's a lot of those. Pinks are for romance. And most of those are for Simon and Bram. Because come on. Blue's for things that shocked me or just like, oh my god, whoa. And green is for quotes that I liked. And yellow is for things that I relate to. I really related to the prom getting ready scene and the events of just getting her dress. I went to prom for the first time a month ago. And it was so stressful. And I was freaking out even just getting my dress. Honestly, nobody warned you about how horrible that is because everything you try on, you just feel so huge and disgusting and you're like, oh, I look so bad. At least for me, like I just kept trying things on. I felt like so huge and it was embarrassing of my own eyes and oh, what am I saying? So when Leah was going through similar experiences with trying things on, like I was just like, that's me. That legit was me a month ago. Thank you for this scene, Becky. I needed that. Also, the whole prom day, everything about the prom day, it was just a lot and I loved the getting ready and how she didn't have a bra and she had to tell Wells that she needed a bra. That was just amazing. I can't imagine how awkward that felt. A highlight of this book was the American Girl Bistro, but poor Garrett thought it was the American Grill Bistro. I don't know how he messes something up that bad, but thank you for doing it because it was hilarious. Honestly, he was so disappointed in himself for messing up so bad, but oh my god, like I want to know what kind of food they had there and I want to go. I didn't even know that existed, but I need to go now. Also, can we just talk about how bad I felt for Garrett the whole time? Like, I just wanted her to like him because he was trying so hard and it made me hurt for him. And I related to him and that. Just trying so hard, but it never works out. I'm sorry, Garrett. Hey guys, so this is Peyton from the future because there was technical difficulties in this piece of the video. For some reason, the audio decided to be annoying and do some weird like crackling and you could hardly hear what I was saying. And I knew that if I had to go and set up my camera again and put back my outfit on and do all this crap, then this video was never gonna get up. So I'm just gonna say the points that I need to say on here and I hope you don't mind. So at times Leah could be really mean and I just didn't really understand why she had to go to those points. Sometimes she just unnecessarily was negative and was so mean to her mom, who's an angel, and I love her. I have something tabs that I need to discuss. Mr. Spear, memorizing the Hamilton soundtrack is not going to save you on the AP Euro exam. I have had experiences where knowing Hamilton helped me in my history class. This dude is wrong. Hamilton helps lives in every single way possible. Another thing I really liked was the friendship moments that we did have. We didn't have as many as we did with Simon, but when they went to Waffle Houses together, that just makes me happy every time they did that, and it made me crave pancakes and crap, and I didn't have a Waffle House near me, so my boyfriend took me to IHOP, and it was okay. It was enough for me at that moment. I was happy. This book will make you crave waffles. So those were a lot of things that I did really like about this book, and I think it's time to take a turn on what I really didn't like about this book. One of these things is how Leah and Abby's relationship felt really out of the blue, and I just wasn't ready for it, I don't think, because I was so used to the idea of Abby and Nick to the point where randomly we find out that Leah has a crush on Abby, and this whole time, like, she didn't have a crush on Nick and it was actually the opposite way. It was just something to get used to and I wasn't really prepared for that. So this whole thing was just something I had to get used to, and it just felt odd at the first time reading it. Well, I've only read it once. I'm acting like I've read it like a few times. But it just felt weird, and it really took me a while to get used to the thought of their relationship. And it's nothing like I cannot have like a girl-girl relationship. That's not what it is at all. Like, those are great. It's just, it was weird seeing Abby with someone I didn't originally ship her with, you know? She was with some person, and then now she, like, what was happening over here? Like, it was just breaking apart my ships, and I was confused. Another thing I kind of disliked was the book was trying to make me dislike Nick, and it worked, basically. Like, me and him are not on the best terms. I don't hate him or anything. It's just some of his true colors, and I don't know, I just didn't like that. Like, I want to like Nick, but now I'm just like that wasn't so cute what he did, you know? Another thing was, it seemed way too easy
for Abby to just give up on Nick and go for Leah. And like in the way of she didn't even give a try at the long distance relationship. After being with him for a year and expressing their love for each other, she didn't even try for that relationship. She just kind of gave up on it. And I just don't really understand that. Like, I don't think I would be able to do that. I have a boyfriend and I love him. And I just don't think I could just give up because of the long distance. Not even try. Like, at least try and see if it's gonna happen. And I get she was confused and everything, but was she confused at that point? I don't know. I'm confused. So I think that's all of the crackly bits that I needed to cover because my audio sucked for some reason. So I may be back if something else messed up. So thank you guys for listening.
So the next thing I'm going to mention was something that came from an article that I read that was shared to me by my friend Julia from our Reader's World. Go check out her channel. Okay, if I can find the article again, I will link it down below because the credit goes to her or him. I don't know who wrote it. So the article was basically pointing out a specific scene of when Abby came out to Leah. Leah reacted in a really harsh way and was basically telling Abby that she could not have the label that she wanted to say because she said she was low-key bisexual, and then Leah said that's not a thing, and Abby was like, well, that's basically how I want to label myself, and she was like, that you can't do that. I'm not quoting this correctly, but it was very similar to what I'm saying. When I read this scene at first, I was not really happy with how Leah responded to this. Like, I get that Abby has been playing with your feelings a bit, but she also was trying to figure it out herself. She was obviously very confused about her feelings and was really trying to figure it out. And at that moment, she needed support and not someone telling her that her label was incorrect. Because, you know, your label is your label, and if that's how you identify, then that's how you identify, and people should accept that. When that article really pointed that out, it made me see it even more. Like, I don't get why Leah had to be so mean about that. You would think that someone who's bisexual herself would have a better reaction than saying that label doesn't exist. Like, I see where she was coming from with, if you're bisexual, you're bisexual. But, you know, it's a very hard and difficult situation. You can't just think about yourself always, Leah, is what I'm trying to say. I might get people mad at me for saying that, but I just wanted to discuss that article because I feel like that is a big issue in this book, and I really don't like that scene and how Leah responded to everything. So the next thing I didn't really like was the ending was really rushed. Everything started happening, and the last little thing was just a letter to Simon and explained a whole bunch of things, and I kind of wanted to see it. I also wanted the aftermath of after Abby and Leah got caught kissing each other. I wanted that aftermath of what Nick's reaction would be, but we kind of just got like a quick description. Oh, he ended up with Taylor, which honestly, why did you want to be with Taylor? I'm not like, I don't completely hate her. She has her moments, but like, why would you want to be with Taylor? I wanted to see how everything was going to unfold because obviously Nick was still not over Abby, and that whole situation could have been a really interesting part of the book, but we kind of just didn't get that, and she just summarized it in a little email. So basically it ends with me wanting more. I just want more of everything. I want more of how Abby and Leah's relationship really goes, because just like Simon, we don't ever really see them be together. The whole book is seeming like Leah's the only one that likes her and she doesn't get liked back, but then we finally figure out she does, and then we never really see them be together but for like one scene. I just wish we could have another book that actually shows our people being together and being happy. Also, I forgot to mention in the scenes that I really liked was probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire book was when Simon and Bram interrupted the Leah and Abby kiss. I just really loved their reaction. They were obviously like, they just walked in, were like, whoa! But they were also really supportive, even though they knew that this was gonna be an explosion in the friendship group. But they were so supportive, and they were the perfect people to catch them if they were gonna be caught. I just really loved that whole scene. So I think that is going to be all for my review for today, and I'm sure I'm going to think of other things I could have said later, and it's going to hurt. Make sure to tell me down below your thoughts on this book and what your rating was, what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you wish you saw but you didn't see. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. like it, comment down below. Have a good day. Please subscribe. Make sure to follow all of my social medias, which are linked down below, and go click the bell button, which is right by the subscribe button, which you should have already clicked, and goodbye.